CA, what's his name? The guy from Henderson, Sporty Carpenter. That's how we started our days, and it was tough. We started at 5 o'clock in the morning getting ready for calisthenics. They don't do it anymore. They do it online. So they don't do that anymore. So my name is Harry Dickens. I met a lot of folks in the room before. I work with a lot of teachers around the state, here in Arkansas and other places, on changing the way we teach, changing the way we get kids excited about learning. We've had some discussions already this morning on how do you get them excited with these flexible schedules when they're extra long. You know, they're kind of long. It's like, you got to fill in that time. And a lot of us are from that traditional class where we were in there for 50 minutes and then we were gone, right? So it's a lot different how we have to get the work done. So I work with teachers on technology integration and things like that. Big thing this past year, of course, we were doing a lot of coding this past year. We were doing a lot of block-based coding as well as text-based coding in a lot of classrooms. And kids got really excited about it because they had projects they had to finish. And they had something that you didn't give them the whole answer. Or you gave them some worked examples. And I've worked with Dr. John Hattie on a lot of his research. I've been blessed to have the opportunity to get trained in his work. And we talked about the Hattie rankings and on what works. And you'll see things like Michael Horn were talking about earlier about class decisions and actually grading themselves, micro-teaching. Teacher estimates on achievement, that's actually brand new. And look here, it causes this much growth, 1.62, where 0.40 is just a year. Look at there. That's a lot of growth if you can do those things right there. Look at self-reporting grades. Kids can work on self-reporting their grades. Give them a rubric, let them grade themselves, those type of things that actually work. So these are Hattie rankings. And you can see they've changed a little bit. RTI, of course, and I know lots of us do RTI. Teacher credibility, micro-teaching, all those things. Teacher clarity. My favorite one right here is feedback. How we get the information back and what do we do with it. That's huge right there because we want kids to show the work and give them feedback immediately. How many people, I've got a handout that's digital, of course. I don't do paper because that means I have to carry it with me, and then a lot of times I forget it. So I put a QR code on your table. We just scan those a little bit later so you can have that, and I'll flip over that sheet in a minute. How many people use Google Forms? We all use Google Forms, right? How many people like the way we can use Google Forms now? What can we do with those Google Forms now?
Get all your data
quickly. And what's the big thing that it does that I really like now? We don't have to use Flubaroo and all this other stuff. It self-grades. That's quick because we can let the kids see how they did quickly, right? What's that other one? What else can you do with Google Forms? There's one more thing. When they get a wrong answer, feedback. And what can you attach to that feedback? Comments and a URL. So if I don't get it right, guess what? You can give me a worked example on how to get it right next time. And we can go back and do it again. That's huge with Google Forms. That was just added, this year? Over the summer? So those things to look at how these applications are changing and actually working better for us. How many folks use the LMS besides Google Classroom? One? Two? Which one, George? Moodle? Schoology. You are from South Carolina. Okay, cool. Schoology. You from? Lincoln. Canvas. So we got Moodle, Canvas, and Schoology. Who else is using anything else? How many using Google Classroom? Cool. A lot of you folks using Google Classroom. Why would we use Schoology? Why would we use Schoology? It connects to my Google Docs, my Microsoft 365, my this, my that. I can upload things into it. It has a grade book. One day it may be connected to the state grade book. I keep talking like that. Why are we using Schoology? Hey, look at Schoology. That's the first thing on my list when I go back to my document. I'll show you. Boom. Schoology. Works on my laptop, works on my iPad. I've had a Schoology account since 2010. And in 2010, it didn't do a whole lot. But it's 2016, almost 17, and Schoology now has a representative in the state of Arkansas. No. Schoology. Canvas. How many folks are iPad schools? Lots of iPads, some iPads. Kind disorder. Anybody use iTunes U? Some? I use iTunes U to teach my courses when I do app courses. I've got one class that has 30,000 students in it. I'm over the teacher load. I went back to 150. But I have one class that has 30,000 students in it. I have another class that has 8,000 students in it using iTunes U. That's huge right there. I can add things to it. It has a grade book in it now. I can actually add comments to students. So I've got some really good ones right here. Schoology, Canvas, and some people are using Blackboard. George is using Moodle. I think Virtual Arkansas uses Moodle. So we have to have that LMS. That is a huge piece of the puzzle right there. The LMS piece is a huge piece of the puzzle because we have to have a way for course management. And so we can actually collect information back from the students and actually push things out quickly. So an LMS. For City, have y'all looked at any LMSs? That'd be a huge piece right there. I would go for an LMS to get so we can actually see if we're actually giving enough work for them to do, and actually target that way. I was watching a Schoology presentation the other day. They were using Schoology in the second grade. This one school was using Schoology in the second grade, using LMS with elementary kids. Because one thing that Michael said, number 12 on his list of things you need to have on for your digital pieces is to have single sign-on. Guess what? Schoology has single sign-on. Single sign-on. That's number 12 on his list. Schoology allows that. Moodle allows that. Canvas allows that. So things like that really help us out. Y'all are quiet.
This is all very new to me.
Okay.
So I'm just grasping it all. But would you want to like pick one and kind of stick with it and not be using lots?
Yes, because I've gone into school districts. This is one thing I've gone into school districts. On my job, I work with Edgenuity and Compass, and I've gone into school districts where they've had 6, 7 different campuses, elementary campus, the middle school campus, and all that kind of stuff. And the elementary campus are using 5 different products. So guess what they're going to get? 5 different results when they get to middle school, and they're like, oh my God, where are the kids at? Because everything's different. Parents are upset too, because like, what happened? So I'm with you. Pick one, stick with it.
I know that Google Classroom has been mentioned at my school.
Yes.
But we're just kind of getting started. So is school do better or?
I like my Google Classroom, but it's not there yet.
Okay.
It's getting there, and we know it'll get there. It's so easy to start. It's so easy to start there. There you go. It's so easy to start somewhere.
Okay.
Right. And I'm sorry.
And then work up.
And work your way up. Because one thing I like about these, they'll also connect to my Google Documents. If I'm a Windows school and use Microsoft, it'll connect to those things. A calendar. That's something that Google Classroom added, right? A calendar feature. These already have it. These have some other features that connect to our standards. So I can actually go in there and look for standards in Schoology. I can't do that in Google Classroom yet. So if need to attach lessons to standards, boom. Does Canvas do that for us yet? Does it connect to Common Core standards or any type of standards yet?
Yeah, they're still developing, working on it, but it does have capabilities.
Perfect.
When you're building your quizzes and lessons to link to both state standards and next generation.
Next generation. Awesome. And see, that's what does that save us time? That saves us a lot of time. Sure does. Tell me about Canvas and math tools, because I know we have math folks in here.
The math is still kind of limited. You have to know a little bit about coding to be able to set up math questions that use formulaic answers.
Yep.
The numeric answer parts are great. You can scan an image that the student's going to work on scratch paper, and they can type in numerical answers that you give it a plus or minus variance.
Perfect.
Set how many decimal places they go out to, and they can type in their answer.
Sweet. See, that's what we're needing to see happening with these, because that saves us a lot of time. One thing Schoology's they have a program called AMP that's part of Schoology that lets me do my math talk. That's there for me. How many folks have used Edulastic? George, I've used Edulastic a little bit in Fort Smith for your common assessments. Edulastic is another free tool out there we can use. It's EduLastic, Edulastic. It's a free tool out there that we can use to build all types of assessments, literacy and math. They're tied to the standards. Math tools are there, and it's free. There's a cost feature if you want to use it as district level to collect data, But that's about it. It's free for everything else. So Edulastic is another good tool. It's not a learning management system, but it is a great tool for actually doing your assessments. For common assessments, I know North Little Rock just finished a middle school common assessment. In Edulastic, every kid got it at a certain time. We can turn the quizzes off, on, how many times they can answer questions, all that kind of stuff. It's really nice. Yeah, that's one reason, because that being able to turn things off and on and actually add as you want to and you can share with other teachers. That's really cool with Edulastic. Sorry, Mom, went to sleep there.
And that's in addition to
Mm-hmm. Yes,
Okay.
So once they get Schoology, it's free. Yep.
There is an enterprise edition that you can pay for, and it's got some more features to it.
Right. I think some of the schools in Arkansas are still using just the free version. We hadn't even moved up to the paid. I've seen the enterprise. It is nice. It is very nice. But the free one is what we've been using in Arkansas for, and we're about to get to the place where we need to move up. But we're not quite there yet. How many folks in here use Twitter? I bet y'all were on Twitter last night during the debate, right? So a lot of us use Twitter. Does anyone use Twitter in their classroom? Anybody using Twitter in their classroom? Are your schools using Twitter? Okay. Are the kids using Twitter? Okay. High school kids? How do we get them ready for high school using Twitter? What do we use for that? We don't have anything. We just say, hey, here's Twitter. Yeah. I got one for you. Twidgicate. It is right about, where'd it go? Twidgicate. Maybe on another page. Twidgicate. Did I take it off? No, I thought I saw it.
Right there. The online discussion.
Oh, online discussion. There it is, right there. Online discussion. So Twidgicate. So what it allows me to do is create Twitter in my classroom. I can even have that for lower levels. So I can have some classroom discussions with kids. We can actually use Twidgicate. It's been around since 2009. It's been around a while. We've had Twitter in the classroom a while, but we just hadn't used it yet. So I can go all the way down to my elementary kids, and we can actually have a Twitter conversation going on. And I can approve the post and things like that. I can upload images, and we can talk about it. I actually had a Twidgicate session going I was in a session with 15 co-ops. And I started a Twidgicate session, and it was all our 15 co-ops in the state of Arkansas, and everybody was commenting. And they weren't even, it was so cool. We had our own little discussion going with my Twitter account, my Twidgicate account. It was really neat. But it's, guess what? Free. I don't like paying for much. I'm okay with paying gas since the cost is down there, but that's about it. But this is a Twidgicate platform. I'll log in real quick. Teacher, and go. There I am. I can have more than one teacher in the discussion, so I can have other classes. My friend down at Lakeside, Stoney Evans, he's always Skyping with schools all over the world. They could have Twitter conversations in their classroom. That will get those kids talking in a back channel and talking about things. So I can post items. When we did this one, we were in a session. This was back in 2014, and this one right here, one of my classes, because I got several. This was my co-ops, and I had class between the 15 co-ops, and we were talking back and forth. And I was actually doing my presentation. I'd say, talk about it, and it was just, we like for them to communicate, collaborate, talk to each other. But you see all the things I can add, text, images, HTML code. I can just drop that in there and post a class. If I want them to comment, they can. If I don't want them, I can turn it off really quickly. But that's Twidgicate, free. All about free, y'all. So I got this class down in Texarkana, school for kids. They're fourth graders. And how many folks in here are app developers? So I've got this fourth grade class down in Texarkana, and the teacher, she loves technology. She's all over it. And she said, I want my class to create an app. I said, you got fourth graders. She said, I want my class to create an app. I said, okay. So we're creating an app about their school right now. And we're going to create an app later about other things that they do. We're using an app on our iPads, and they have iPads and Chromebooks, so they have a mix of both. And it actually works once they finish the app, it'll work on any device. They use an app called TouchApp Creator. TouchApp Creator lets them create their own little interactive web page that looks like an app. When they finish it, it actually has a little, when you have your apps on your phone, it looks like an app that's put on your phone. It's really cool because when you make your shortcut, you have your own image and everything. And they got the little Fairview, it's Fairview Elementary. They got the little symbol on there and everything. So they're actually making their own app using TouchApp Creator. It's pretty cool. It's an iPad app, and I'm going to pull it up here real quick. Show you what it lets me do. This is going to be really cool because they get to integrate all that stuff that they use in the classroom. Get this open up. There we go. There it is.
Sorry, you adjust your mic. It's cutting in and out.
Oh, hey. Somebody else complained about the microphone last night. I'm a sideline comedian. Just kidding. So this is TouchApp Creator. And I'm going to create my app here. And I'm going to add elements. Look at all the elements I can add. This is what's so cool about this thing. And it cost me, I talked to an app developer. I said, so how much does it cost to create an app? And he said, well, it'll cost you about 25 grand for the wireframe. I said, I can go get some chicken wire myself. But, he said, I was like, my goodness. But it's very expensive to create an app. I mean, if you want to get one developed and create it for your company, it's very expensive. So here are the elements. Like I was doing a tourism piece on Arkansas. We have that we have to teach anyway. So I look at my elements I want to add. I can add text, images, video, audio, screen recordings, Google Documents, files, widgets, external widgets, links, paste an element from clipboard, other pages, and from other apps, all in this little $3 app. So what does it mean by I can add video? Oh, those videos. From iCloud, Google Drive, Dropbox, OneDrive, doing that Microsoft thing I was saying earlier, it connects all that stuff. So if I have something I'm working on in my Microsoft Drive, it actually updates as I work on it. If I have a Google document form, we actually used this for a workshop last year. We were doing our tech integration piece at Texarkana last year, a workshop. And so when we had changes in the schedule, we just typed in the Google document, and it was in the app for the folks that were there. So they had an app for the day. Oh, aspirin for the day, app for the day. It's pretty cool. So YouTube, Vimeo, online videos, video from iCloud, all those things from a camera, from a photo lab. So I could actually put a video in here right now. Yes, I could. I could take a video right now and drop it inside my app. And if somebody had that app on their device, guess what? They see the video right then. Think the kids like doing that? When they're working on those projects, we want to make sure that during that time that they have. And they don't want them to look shoddy either. They want them to look really good, because they'll work and make that video just right. So those are the elements I can add. Just video. Oh my goodness, that's just video. Images. Oh, look at there. Creative Commons. Really? From iCloud, Google, Dropbox, OneDrive, Box, FTP servers, all that kind of stuff. So I can go to Creative Commons and use images without having to go look on Google and find an image. Go find one that's in Creative Commons that you can actually share. We're good to go right there, right? That's just images. Audio. Look at there. From my music library. So I can make an audio file, right? Using my GarageBand that I have, right? And actually have those files in there too. So they can have a really cool app right here. This cost me like $3. Oh my goodness. I can make an audio recording right now. You mean I can just hit record and tell it okay, and it's recording my audio into my app that I'm creating on my device here. So I'm done with that. Boom. And tell it okay, and it's recording my audio into my app that I'm creating on my device here. Wow. And that's on my app that I created in 4th grade. Just think what I'm doing when I get to 6th grade. Just think of all the things I'm going to do when I hit 6th grade. Oh my goodness. This is TouchApp Creator. Wasn't free, but guess what? It's really nice. Files, of course, all those places we use. Google Docs. So look at there. You mean I can attach Google Drawings? So if I have some math, if I made a math app for my kids, or my kids made a math app, I can actually have Google Drawings. They can actually draw things. Yep. Google Sheets. Teaching them graphs and charts. I can have those in their app. Google Slides. Yes, ma'am.
Question?
Yes.
It's amazing. As an elementary principal, the only thing I've run into problems in the past is because my kids are young.
Yep.
And so be like 13 and old.
Right.
So how do you get through all those sort of?
On this one right here, there's only one device creating it. So they're actually, those kids in my, thank you for that question. My kids who are under that age, they don't have the mail piece, but they do have Google Docs.
Right.
Guess what? It doesn't matter because it's just connecting to a document. So the teacher is the account that's logged in here. So each kid doesn't log in. It's just one account that's creating this. So I actually have a classroom of 25 that we're doing this. One device has the app. And so there's a person in charge of the app, but there's a person in charge of the Google Documents. There's a person in charge of the video, in charge of this. So they're doing all those things and bringing them to one device. Okay? Good question. Good question. What age do I work with?
Yeah, obviously you've got 30,000 in the class, okay.
No, I'm just kidding. No. I work with kindergarten all the way to 12th grade. Yep. So I get to work with all of them. Widgets. Oh, look here. This one's really cool. A 360-degree image. So they can actually swipe through an image and make a 360-degree. I know. $3. I'm like, dang. What about those math tools? And I can make a map. I can embed HTML code. I can even put an iframe in there for them and build a web page inside of this app. I mean, it just, I don't know. It's been, like I said, it's been around a while, and I've used it quite a bit. But like I said, we used it last year when we did our technology camp. We actually created an app for the camp. And so she saw it. They said, I want to make one of those for my 4th grade class. And guess what? We're already working on it. They have a project that they're building from one of their PBL projects, and we're actually putting everything inside of an app that we do. So just to let you see that one. And once I'm finished, I click on publish. This is how easy to publish. No, I don't want to add the icon right now. I'll generate the app. Boy, this is hard work, y'all. Look here, start process. Done. That's all it takes for me to create that app for those students. And they can change it. They have some things they can't change. They can change the fonts. We can't change the colors yet. Guess what? We've been emailing the creators of this app. Hey, can we change the colors or something like that to match our school building color? They have some in there, but not a lot. So you can do all that stuff too. It publishes and it saves. What's really neat about it, it can upload to your Google, it uploads to that teacher's Google Drive account. So it's actually in a folder in their Drive account. So it's always there. Or if you get really fancy and you're using a server, it can actually be uploaded to your school server. So it can either place. Or look at that Dropbox. I don't use the Dropbox, but I do use the Google Drive and FTP server because I have a GoDaddy account and I can actually upload to GoDaddy. It's pretty cool.
So other people could access that.
Oh yeah, what we did is we had 400 teachers accessing the app. It's like, this is so cool. We didn't have to pass out any paper. The schedules, the map of the building, we had all that inside the app as they were going through the workshops. Texarkana. Down south. On the border. Yep, Texarkana. So I can click in preview my app, and so boom, that's what it looks like. I'd have a footer here. I can actually add text there. I can have other things here. I'd have a table, things happening on the page. They can click on those and open them up. Yes, ma'am.
So TouchApp Creator is an iPad app.
It's
Once the app is created, it's accessible by anything.
anything. That's exactly right. By anything. That is exactly right. TouchApp Creator. There are 2 apps that they created. The other one I've used before, I don't use a lot. It's called Creative Book Builder for my older kids because it is a little bit harder, but it looks just like TouchApp Creator, but they're actually writing a book. And it becomes an app that you can actually open up on any device too. So you can make an interactive book using Creative Book Builder, all from the iPad. So they do have, the company has 2 apps. It's the TouchApp Creator as well as the Creative Book Builder.
Now, can you do these on Chromebook?
You can read them on Chromebook. You can, after they're created on this device, on this one device, you can read them on anything. Because it's building a web page, but it looks like an app when you open it up on the iPads. It looks really cool when parents walk in. Hey, you want to get our school app that we created in 4th grade? They can get it, and they have it right there. You can put forms in there. If you want to Google Forms, you need to ask questions, you put that inside the app. Anything that you want to do in there, especially with the iframe piece. Somebody had a question. Yes, ma'am.
So if they wanted to create something on their docs, like on a Chromebook, like I have a class at a Chromebook,
Yep.
they can all be working on that, and then as they're done, just use the one iPad to upload to their.
It's always connect to that document beforehand, and then as they're working on it, it shows up in the app automatically, right? So we have a document that we start. I already have the URL inside the app, and they just keep working. So somebody's in control of that. Somebody's in charge of that in my classroom. I've got a little girl down in Dumas. She's in 3rd grade now, so she knows when I'm there, we're going to create something. She said, "What can I do?" She's just like that. What am I in charge of? She's that person. She wants to be in charge of something. So they always have a job in the classroom to make, and they know what the final product's going to be. And Michael said that. They need to know what we're teaching them. That's the first thing. What are we learning from this? And that's the big piece of it. But this is just a part. Technology is the easy part because they're not using this a lot. They're actually in their Google document doing their work, and one thing that the 4th grade teacher, we've got to work on the writing process, and that makes them work even harder because they're out there for people. My parents are going to see this. Their parents are going to see this. It gives them a little push because people are going to see their work. So when they go to school board meetings, they get to say, "Hey, well, check out our app, school board members." They're proud of their work, and they're going to work really hard to get it done. Have I showed you anything new today? Yay! Woohoo! That's my goal in life. That's my goal in life. George knows I'm like this all the time. So this is how I am in the classroom. This is hard staying in front. I'm usually down on the floor doing something. And I got a story to tell. One of my teachers that I worked with a couple of years ago, we want to talk about explain everything. Yeah, one of my teachers I worked with a couple of years ago, her nephew's in the room. Dr. Roy Turner back in the back. And she's a math teacher. And she was by the house Saturday. She was at a birthday party around the corner. She stopped by the house. Yeah. And so we're talking about her class, and we talked about, because it was her last year teaching. She was about to retire. And she said, "Well, I've got to do something with these kids and show me one thing." She said, "Show me one thing that can help me raise my math scores." I said, "Yes." I said, "Yes." So in her class, we used explain everything, and we used some other tools like that. So we had a whiteboarding piece. All the kids had it on their devices. They had iPads. They had to show their work. They had to record their work. They had to talk about their work. She had a 60% increase in her scores. 60, over 60% increase in her scores. Video, and that's the only app she used all year, right? One app. The kids made video, she made video, worked examples. That's a big thing that Hattie talks about. Kids need worked examples. Why not? Some people think, "Oh, that's cheating." No, it's not. Didn't we watch our parents drive a car? Oh, that's what you do. Oh, that's the signal light. Okay, all right. They saw examples. They didn't just say, "Okay, time to drive." They saw an example. So why can't the kids see a worked example before they start the work? So worked examples were huge for her class. The kids actually, when they come to class, they wanted to show that their work. They were like, because they could project up to the board. They're like, "I'm ready. I'm ready." It worked. But this is when I buy an iPad. I'm up to number 7 now. The first thing I put on my iPad is this, because I teach with this a lot. I teach with it more than anything. That's the one app I have to have on my device.
Again, can you do that on a Chromebook?
Well, let me tell you what I'm going to do on the Chromebook. See, I'm going to connect it to your Chromebooks. I love it.
Well, my Chromebooks are new, so.
Okay, yeah. Hey, that's all right. So, oh, wow, she's had them away. So what I do as a teacher, I may be the person creating the worked examples. Let me go here and pull one up. Show how it works with your Chromebooks. So I'm opening up Explain Everything. And close. Plus, here. So, how many folks have those interactive whiteboards in their classroom? How much do they cost? Whew. Gosh. Expensive, weren't they? Mine costs it's up to $6 now. But mine cost $3 when I bought it because it's right here on my iPad. And I started out with my iPad second generation or whatever, using Explain Everything and hadn't left it yet. So I've got my $3 Explain Everything because it's my interactive whiteboard. It does video. It lets me pull in text. It lets me pull in math tools. All that's included inside my $3 app. That's up to $6 now, so it's doubled in price. Whew, got expensive. A lot cheaper than that $5,000 because we get those cool speakers on the side. It's all aerodynamic now and all that stuff. So I get to spend a whole lot less, and I've got my whiteboard, and I take out my Apple Pencil, which I don't have in my pocket right now, but I can actually draw on the board, and I can record anything that I'm doing. So I can actually write, and it's got my little, my little palm print doesn't show it with my Apple Pencil, so I can actually write on here and actually save that, record it with audio, save it to Google Drive, and guess who's got it? Everybody's got it. I've got a folder, everybody's got an example. So is that working their problem? How did they do that? What's wrong with them playing that worked example right then? It's so nice. Yes, ma'am.
So you can bring video in and talk over the video also?
Yep.
Or slides, kind of thing, okay?
You can bring PowerPoint presentations in, Keynote presentations in, and they all become a separate page because I can add slides. So they all become their own page that I can annotate.
So you can flip through.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. In color, you have your different colors here. You can actually highlight. If you have informational text you want the kids reading, you want to do some closed reading with it, guess what? You can do some highlighting. Yep. Yeah, PDF works a lot better, because it takes a long time for the others to upload. Things I can add. This is it right here. Yeah. Yep. Yep. Just like my Screencast-O-Matic. That's exactly right, for $3. So the one time I was scared, I had to do a workshop several years ago at the Arkansas School for the Deaf for Stacy. And I had to show an app that they could use for their students who were deaf. Guess which one it was? This one right here. Because I had to have someone signing as the problem was being worked. So I could actually add a video inside my video that I was creating, just like you said. So this was my closed captioning for the deaf students. I can add my math equations. That's new. I can add those things, or I can add a photo inside. So I could actually take a picture and drop that picture and edit. Boom, use photo, done. That picture's in my document that quick. So I can actually annotate. When I save it, guess where it's going? To my Google Drive. I can take a picture of someone's work. Boom. Well, let's talk about this. They did a great job. Why they do a great job? We can actually annotate it and save that video. That's a worked example for those kids to see. We can do a whole lot with this $3 app. When I'm blended learning, I think about all these tools I can use that help me with my blended learning in my classroom. Yes, ma'am.
Just FYI, I have a Samsung device and TouchApp Creator is on there, and so is the Virtual.
Yes. I think they were a little bit less on the...
It's $4 instead of $3 for TouchApp.
Okay. It is very nice. It was there. It was, like I said, it was on iPad first, and they moved to the Android devices, and then they've got some that you can actually create that are not that expensive on Windows devices. I didn't play with them a lot, but I start with this one first, and I really like it. Really like it. So I can pull those worked examples in here and actually save them to my Google Drive. What I really like about this, I can let me cancel that. There we go. It's not gonna let me save it. X. I'm going to save it right now. I'm going to cancel that. I'm going to go back to the home. No. Go to my settings. Export. This is what I'll show you. Export settings. So here are the accounts I have connected. So a lot of people have Google accounts. How many folks have a YouTube channel? Guess what? If I want to upload to my YouTube channel, I can. Most of us have a... Yes. I love that part. I've been uploading to YouTube all the time. I have my own YouTube channel. I just push them there. It lets me know 15 minutes your video's ready. So I can use my YouTube channel right there. Oh, look, Twitter's there. A lot of my parents are on Twitter. There's my Google Drive, Evernote box, Dropbox, all those. I've got a lot of those turned on. Don't have my box account turned on. I use it for other things. But all those OneDrive from my Microsoft folks, I can upload to my OneDrive account. Make kind of sense? This is all from my app right here. So like adding video, let me put a video in there. Cancel, plus, new video. Record. There it goes, there's my video. Boo-doo-doo-doo-doo. Boom, there it goes. So there's my video, putting it in the little corner over there, my screencast. There's my little video over in the corner. So it's there inside this video here. So I could have explicit instructions before they start watching what they're about to see in my video. Or after the fact, I can actually add those videos. Watch this before. I can just drop some text over there by it. Watch this first. Then look at this. Then do this. Explicit instruction using this right here.
What's the maximum program
Oh, I can just because as many as I want because I'm going to upload to my Google Drive, and that's where it takes all the space. Yeah, that's where all the space is taken up. Like those so far? Cool. I do use iMovie a lot for. I have my green screen feature, so I'm gonna show you in a second. But I use iMovie a lot for those short clips. I use iMovie a lot at church when I'm teaching my Sunday school class too. I use iMovie a whole lot because I find videos and then we do reenactments with my little ones. So we do plays. We talk about things. Why not? That's how I remember things. I remember things by acting them out. So I use iMovie quite a bit for documenting things in the Bible for the kids. It's pretty cool. We like doing that. Anybody using Edpuzzle? I don't have enough time. Nobody's using Edpuzzle? Oh my. Okay.
Can we just extend this? Please.
Let me see if it's going to let me in. There it goes. Yep. So Edpuzzle allows me, oh, look at there. I can pull from my Google Classroom. What it does, how many folks were a bad kid in class? Okay. Kids, we had to watch those film strips. We didn't have video projectors and stuff. We had to watch this film strip and it was like right there in our ear, really loud. Well, when we had to watch those videos, it was assessment at the end, right? Hey, you watch the video, we got a test at the end, right? Well, in Edpuzzle, I can take video from several places. Let's see where I can get it from. Those places. And do this kind of stuff to it.
Oh, I'm so glad you're here. These two just won't stop fighting. It all started this morning when Tina and Timmy were counting their discs. I have 45,021 discs. I have 43,924 discs. I have more.
Stop motion.
Timmy has this many discs. Tina has this many discs. They want to know who has more. And they want proof. So before we get going, who do you think has more? Take a guess.
Boom. Throughout the video.
And do the individual students just make their comments?
Yep. They answer a question, and once we're done, they go on to the next part. This is all personalized. Every student gets the video. They answer questions throughout. It comes back to me in a spreadsheet. It's in my Google Classroom. I can check it there. Not so good. So I could add.
So that's a video you just pulled completely from
YouTube.
Okay.
Yep. I can trim the video, so if I want parts of the video, I don't have to have the whole thing. I can get parts of a video. Yes, you can, and you can make your own question. You make your own questions. Yeah, this one's already done. You can edit this one, but you can actually create your own. Just find the video or one that you create because you have a YouTube channel. Use your own videos too. That's what this teacher did.
You can also decide how long you give them for a question.
Yes. Mm-hmm. And if they get to go backwards and answer. Yep. Edpuzzle. And how much is it? Free. It is free. I want to buy more storage on my phone. I need more storage. But I find TED Talks, YouTube videos. Edpuzzle has some already created, like this one's already created. But you see it's a YouTube video right there. It's a YouTube video. And like I said, you can shorten it. Another way, it's becoming a paid product because it's so good. Zaption actually lets me bring in more than one video from other, one video at a time. I can take that for free. I can live with that. But the other one let me put additional videos in. Like I said, it's connected to my YouTube. I can work on it at the house for my flip classroom. They can work on it before class for that time that they have, or after class, or during that Friday time that Michael was talking about, where they're actually working on some of their other things that they need to do for me. And it grades it for me. Really nice.
Are they watching the video on their own device?
Yes, they're watching the video on their own device.
Now, our tech folks would go nuts.
No.
All streaming at the same time.
Yep. You could actually, yeah, you're streaming. You are streaming. They just, I know how your tech folks are. Yeah. But yeah, they are streaming. That's a really nice tool. Different kinds of questions you can add. You can have say, a set of questions that they have to answer after watching so much video, not just one question at a time. So if I want to ask 3 questions, I can do that. Different types of questions too. So they can have an open response and a multiple choice all together. So that. But it lets me do some really cool stuff using Edpuzzle. Once they get the answer, it lets them go on, continue. She used a green screen app to do all this work. I can't think of the name of it, but I'll put it on the document. She used an app that lets her do all these characters and moving them around. I've got one on my Mac that I use that I can do that stuff too, where the characters make all those noises and change their face and stuff. But she uses one on the iPad that does that. But she did that. So really nice. I've got some other things on the document that's on that sheet. If you want to jot down that URL or just scan that code, it's there. I'll be adding more because I'm using the same for another class I'm going to be teaching later on. But I just try to find tools out there that I can use for my blended classroom, my flipped classroom, things to take things off my shoulders where the kids can actually go and do the work, and we can actually have discussion and actually go further, extend their learning with some other things. Because this is all things that are procedural, like here, take this assessment, but assessment was a little bit different. Things they have to do, but they look a little bit different. So I'm just wanted to show you some things that I really like that's working well with me and my kids in several districts that I'm working with. 2 minutes. Oh my gosh. So, and you only had to spend about $5 or $6 with me. So that's pretty good. That's pretty good. A lot of free things out there. Some are paid because they're worth it. I mean, but $5 for something like my app creator, or $3 for or $6 now for my explain everything, which I use. Like I said, I use it all the time. I use it with classes with kids at church, when I'm teaching teachers, when I'm in sessions, and I'll give them the link to the Google Drive. It's there for them, so it just makes sense. Makes sense. But thank y'all so much for coming by this morning. Appreciate it so much.